So it's the 28th of June, and I'm just walking in. I've about 45 minutes ago been dropped off by the taxi at Poolewe, just ahead of the track, a couple of miles behind me, and I'm walking into the Fisherfield Wilderness, intending to walk into Carnmore Bothy, which I think is about 10 miles or so. So it will take me I don't know, 3 hours or whatever, a bit more, and then depending on how I feel, I don't think I'm going to spend the night in the Bothy. That's a bit not quite what I came for. So I'm intending to, if I've still got the energy, I'll just climb up a couple of miles up the Stalker's Path above the Bothy, up the Corrie to a couple of little lochans up there. That's where I'm really heading for tonight, and I'll camp up. So yeah, it's absolutely lovely here, the weather. I don't know how much of that you can see, but it's fantastic. It's clear wall-to-wall blue sky at the moment. Just walking through the wooded bits up to Kensari, I think it's called, the last sort of residence before you really get up into the wilderness. So yeah, I think I've got everything. I've got plenty of food. Managed to get the weight of the backpack down to something reasonable, like about 11 or 12 kilos, possibly 12 kilos, which I think is quite respectable. Feels quite comfortable on me. Got enough food for, well, if needs be, I could stretch it out to Friday, I think. The plan is to spend tonight, which is where I described, up above Carnmore Bothy, and then Tuesday night, that's tomorrow, Wednesday night, somewhere in amongst the Fisherfield 5. I'll aim perhaps to do a couple of Munros tomorrow if I can, and then camp somewhere near Beinn, a couple more on the Wednesday, end up, I don't know, within striking distance of Chlaidheimh on Wednesday night, and then walk out to Chlaidheimh near Dundonnell, which is pretty near where the car is. So that's the plan. So I've been walking about 2 hours now since the taxi driver dropped me off through up through the sort of pine woods, and in the sunshine as well, the Kensari estate, I think that's what it's called. So I've come from down there, just behind me over my shoulder, and I'm just about to pop out onto the out of the trees. I'm just about to pop out onto the open moorland. I reckon about a third of the way to Carnmore from the road at Poolewe. So still got some little way to go, but it's only 2:10, and it stays daylight forever. I really feel I've come into the wilderness now. If I scan round, that's where I'm going, and I don't know, I'll point it out in a minute, but if you can see a little white cottage right in the distance, that's Carnmore. It's a private residence, and then there's a barn next to it which is used as a rudimentary bothy, I understand. I'll have a look at it when I get there. So where I'm going tonight, I'm intending to go is to there, and then up above it you can just about see a track. I don't know if I'm pointing it in the right direction, but anyway, that's the Fisherfield Wilderness up in those mountains. So that's what I'm going to explore over the next 3 days or so. And if I just swing it round, I mean, there's not a sound other than just gentle breeze and a few insects. It's pretty midgy where I had lunch, but coming up here the breeze has picked up, so the midges have gone. And down there, roughly somewhere, is Poolewe, where I've walked in from, and the sea. So that's where I started. Right, I'll just take the camera and point it around the other way. So hang on a sec. Yeah, Carnmore is just about under where my finger is. There's just a little white dot just appearing above the near sort of hillside bit. But anyway, that's where I'm going, and I can see a track that runs up above it and up there, and there's a couple of lochans up there. So if I'm still feeling fit enough when I get there later this afternoon, I'm going to go up there, and that's where I'm going to camp. I've just been telling myself that what I've got to do is just slow down a bit, rather than just rush at it and trying to get to Carnmore in no time at all, because I'll just knacker myself. Because I've got loads of time, all the time I need, and I've got enough food for 3 days, if not 4 days, and I've got all the kit, so I just got to slow down and enjoy it, and make sure I make the most of it. Well, hello again. I'm about, well, first of all, it's about 5:30. I'm about 20 minutes, I guess, half a mile, no, maybe a mile from Carnmore, Bothy. So it's been a long walk in, but absolutely fantastic. Quite an easy walk in terms of not technically challenging, just a long way with a backpack on my back. So behind me is a loch whose name escapes me, but there behind me is the causeway that just gives access to Carnmore Bothy and separates the two lochs. The loch on my right is Fion Loch, quite a big one. I just watched a sea eagle hunting for fish over the waters. Assume it was a sea eagle. So I'm about to walk over that causeway, and what fantastic scenery though. And where I'm going is up there, and if I just bring the camera around, so where I'm going in a minute, so I'm going to get to Carnmore Bothy. I'm going to just have a rest up for a minute, have a drink there, but then there is a path which goes up to there, and there are a couple of little lochans up there, well out of the way. There are a few people around. I've met one couple, and then I met another bloke on his own, basically doing what I'm doing but in reverse. So I had a chat with them, just all saying how fantastic it is. It's absolutely stunning here, really is. Weather like this, there's nowhere that beats it. This is a strange contraption though, this causeway. This is Carnmore Bothy behind me. Bit of a dump, frankly. But then it's a bothy. It's got some few beds in there, bed frames anyway, with manky, skanky old mattresses on them. So emergency shelter would be absolutely fine. There's the Carnmore house itself. I'm not quite sure what that's used for. I'm just about to walk past it, but oh, I don't know. I imagine sort of hunting parties, adventure training, goodness knows what. That looks like a proper house, but I don't think it's open, not to the general public. So I'm going to head past that house and then off to the left, up the track, up to the two lochans, where I'm going to pitch up for the night. It is now 6:15. Probably might take me a couple of hours to get up there, so I'm going to be pitching up about 8 o'clock. I will talk more in a bit. Bye for now. Well, good evening. What a spot. So I came out from up above Carnmore Bothy, not very far. I suppose it's been 2 or 3 miles, but quite a lot of uphill. Got a lot of climbing with a pack on my back, and I was pretty knackered. So yeah, it was hard work, but this is where I was aiming for. These two little lochans. I'll just swing round. These two little lochans. This is one of them, obviously. The other one's off to the left. I'd sort of spotted these as somewhere that would be a nice place to camp, hopefully, and no one here, and peaceful as you like. And that's exactly what it is. Nothing much to see there if I swing round. But yeah, what a spot. But I am completely knackered. I'm feeling better now. As you can see, I've had some food. I had the summit to eat pasta bolognese, which I have to say was very tasty. that's done me the world of good, and a cup of tea and a Snickers bar. So yeah, I feel a bit more human now, although pretty stiff. But anyway, this is my my living accommodation. A little bit untidy at the moment. It's all very well camping on the beach, and I should have learned this lesson from going into Sandwood Bay. It's very nice, and it's you know, it's pretty flat, but it's very difficult not to get sand everywhere. I'd forgotten about that, but I realised that halfway through putting the tent up, and then I really couldn't be bothered to go and find somewhere flat. So yeah, that's the living accommodation. And I just swing it around. Oh, I don't know if you can see me, but I probably look a mess. It's quite chilly. As soon as the sun went down behind that hill up there, yeah, the temperature dropped quite noticeably, just in a matter of minutes, really. I should tell you what these mountains are behind me. I can't be bothered to get the map out, but they're obviously still in sun, looking quite spectacular. There's some very high wispy cirrus clouds. It has been all day actually, which has been a bit of a godsend at times, because it's been pretty hard work. Anyway, what a spot! Not a sound, just the sound of the water slowly lapping on the beach here, and I was listening to a bird that I couldn't recognise just now. It sounded like a ground-dwelling bird. I'll have to look it up when I get back. It might have been a ptarmigan, but I don't know if we're high enough here. Not that high. Anyway, enough of that. I'm going to put my feet up. The time now is, what is the time? Yeah, time now is about 10 to 10. So I'm just going to put my feet up for a bit and read my book. Morning campers. As you can probably see, it's a bit misty this morning. I had quite a good night. It didn't really get dark. It didn't really get dark at all that I can remember. And it's very, very still, and the midges are out at the moment, which is they've just come out, which is frustrating. But it's getting brighter. I think it's just some low-lying mist, which is going to get burnt off. But anyway, yeah, not a bad night. Freshened myself up and had some breakfast. So I'm just going to get all this stuff packed away, all bar the tent. There's no point walking whilst it's as misty as this, but things are beginning to appear in the distance now. So I think this is going to clear fairly rapidly now as the sun comes up a bit higher, and I'll be on my way. Hoping to have a shorter day today, because that was a long day yesterday. It really was, absolutely knackered me. But going to carry on the Stalker's Path, which I've been following just around here until I came to the lake, the loch. Follow that down a bit and then head off. There are a couple more lochans up there, and then would like to do a couple of close to each other Munros if I can. So the weather's pretty good. It's I checked the weather forecast on the Garmin thing, and it's still set fair. It's pretty misty, although as I'm rising up, the mist is burning off at a similar rate. So I haven't come up into the mist yet. So if we just scan round, I'm just looking down over that lochlan. A couple of birds. I think there's some sort of duck making a heck of a racket down there. They don't really like me here. And if I swing round, where I'm going, I've only got about 200 metres to go to the summit. Is up there, and somewhere up there. I just got to keep going up now. It's easy walking. Well, easy as in it's not technical, but it's just a bit of a slog over the heather now. But I'll just take it steadily. Got plenty of time. Up there is Rudstack Moor. That's the first of the Munros that I'm going to do on this trip, and it was one of the two that I was planning on doing today. The other one being a Highands. Both of them are just about the most remote Munros that you can do. Well, hello again. I'm at the summit of Rudstackmore. It's about a little after 1:30. Bit of a drag to get up here, but wow, just wow. So I've come above the, I guess it's some sort of temperature inversion, come above all the mist that you saw earlier on, and looking straight ahead there, just peeking out, is the unmistakable Anchelac Ridge that John and I walked 3 years ago? No, probably 4 years ago now, gosh. And then just swinging round there, I think that's Beinn Chlaidheimh, I think I've pronounced it not at all correctly. That's the one, I think, that's the one that used to be a Munro, which was downgraded by, because it was a couple of metres short. And then that is Beinn Tarson, I think. And then just swinging around, this is fantastic. Just poking out, that's Highands, that's the other Munro, which I'm hoping to do today. It looks scary, but mountains often do. They look, you think, crikey, I couldn't do that, but actually, just bit by bit, and before you know it, you're 3/4 of the way up, and it's that's fantastic. That one is the most remote Munro to get to from well, from anywhere really. So it'd be good to get Rudstackmore and Highands bagged today. And then over there, I'm looking out towards the sea. I'll turn the phone on in a minute, see if I have a signal up here. Might do. Poolewe is down there somewhere in the mist, but it's probably only, as the crow flies or the eagle flies, it's probably only, I don't know, 15 miles away. So I'll make it a signal up here. And turning around, this is me again in my sexy hat. It's a bit hot, but then that's because I've been climbing up, and it was pretty much of just a bit of a drag really. But that view, I'm looking at it now over there, that view of Anchelac is fantastic, just poking above the mist. The mist is sort of swirling around, but I'm quite relaxed about it. The forecast is good, and to be honest, I'm happy to have this mist. It just cools the place a bit. There's a how much of that, oops, how much is that? You can see it, let's have a look. Yeah, there's a little sort of cairn, and actually it's probably an old trig point or something. It looks fairly well constructed, a rudimentary windbreak, if not quite a shelter. So, top of Rudstackmore. Right, well, I'm at the top of the remotest Munro of all, Highands. It's the second Munro I've done today, and it is fantastic up here. There's quite a bit of cloud below us, because there's two other blokes down behind me. I was talking to them just now. There's quite a bit of cloud below, but yeah, it's fantastic. So I'll just take a just what a place when the weather's like this. And that cloud, the way I'm facing, so behind the camera now, that just looks like a sea of, I don't know, just looks like a sea. There you go. Hello again. So still, I say still, I'm at the summit of, pretty much the summit of Highands, and it's coming up to 7 o'clock, and incidentally England are beating Germany 2-0 at the moment. Oh, I've just, my phone made a noise, that sounds like an update. Anyway, I just wanted to take a bit of video of this fantastic cloud inversion. There's one other guy camping up here, and he was telling me that it's very unusual to have a cloud inversion that lasts for this long, but it's up here above the cloud, it's absolutely fantastic. So you can see the near peaks is Beinn Tarson, where I'm going to go tomorrow, and the middle one is Mullahoe something or other, long name, and then the next one, the broader one, is Skerban, and then just carrying on around. The one in the foreground is Rudstack Moor that I was up earlier today, and the one sort of behind it is that's the one that's I'm sighing because I don't know how to pronounce it. Beinn Chlaidheimh or something. That's lousy Gaelic. That's the one that was a Munro but has now been demoted because it was too short. And then swinging around a bit more, there's a fantastic view of the Anchelach Ridge poking above. That's the one that John and I walked 4 years ago. I mentioned that earlier. And if I just walk back a bit, hang on, sorry about the dodgy camera work. So that's my this is my pitch for the night. What a spot! It was just too good not to. I had to do it, even though I wanted to be a little bit further on. But I made good progress today. I haven't actually been walking very far or very long today. Yesterday was a real long old poke in. Right, that was probably a bit shaky as I was walking around, but the summit is just up there. I mean, 50 metres away. I just didn't want to pitch my tent right next to the other bloke who's up there. It's a bit antisocial when people do that. But anyway, swinging around, and more temperature inversion. There's nothing to see out there. It just looks like a sea of nothingness, really. Quite fantastic. And then swinging around and back to Anchelach. Morning all, it's about 8:30 and I've just come down from up there. Somewhere is the summit of Mhaighdean. Had a pretty good night really. Saw the sunrise over Anchelach at 3:40 this morning. I hadn't stayed awake all that time, but just caught it right. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, the inverted cloud is still here, so where I'm going is down into the cloud, and I'm going to do today, I'm going to do Beinn Tarson, Mullahoe something or other, Skerban, and then I'm going to camp somewhere down here, I think, and then that's the last one, Beinn Chlaidheimh, which is no longer a Munro. But I'm just about level with the top of the cloud, and I'll be disappearing into it. I don't know what it's going to be like down there. Just misty, I think. It was all right yesterday, but on Beinn Tarson you can just about see to the right there, about halfway up the ridge that is visible, is the what they call the tennis court or the wedding cake. It's a flat bit of rock, quite big, about the size of a tennis court, surprisingly. Yeah, it's really strange. I'm at the I think they call it the Beinn, the sort of pass, the corrie, whatever, between Mhaighdean, which I've just come down from, and Beinn Tarson, which I'm just about to go up to. But I came through, so it was completely clear at the top, and I came through this layer of cloud, mist, whatever you want to call it. Really quite disorienting. I was thankful for the OS map app on my phone, which was wonderful, told me exactly where I was. But it's completely clear now at the bottom. But now I'm going to climb up into that again. There'll be a, I don't know, 300 metre, no less than that, probably 200 metre thickness of cloud, and then I'll come out into the sun. But it is seeming to lift actually, which is quite nice actually. I've had enough of this walking through the mist now. This inversion is all very attractive, but it's a bit boring climbing through it. So anyway, I'm going to press on and see you soon. Well, I'm nearly at the summit of Beinn, but not quite. I've come along the ridge for about half a mile just along here, which was really quite spectacular. And this is what they call the tennis court, or the bowling green, or some bloke called it the wedding cake I was talking to earlier, yesterday sometime. It's it's not that level. I don't think you want to play bowls up here, but yeah, it's quite spectacular. So if I just swing it round, so Highands is the one with its head in the clouds there, and Rudstackmore is there, and then I'm just going to swing it around. I don't know which ones these are without checking, but where I'm going is up there. It's not very far. That shouldn't take any time. That's Beinn. That'll be my third Munro of the trip so far. And if I swing it round, there's one which is sort of just about there, half hidden by partly cloud and partly by the shoulder of Beinn. That's Scoban. No, it's not. It's that's Mullach something or other. And then the next one, the broad one, is Scoban. I'd like to get both of those done today, if I can, and then the last one, which must be, I can't really see it, it must be that one there. That's the one that's been demoted, which is no longer a Munro. And if you look down, this sort of the head of the bottom, whichever, the head of the U-shaped valley down there with the loch on the left, that's where Chlaidheimh is. And that's Loch Nass Sailgar, I think, and directly above the head of the loch, almost directly above, slightly to the right, and with its peaks in the cloud, that's the Enchelak Ridge. So time is now 11:45. I think I'm making good time. I'm taking it easy. That was quite a long slog to get from Highands to Beinn, but the next ones are quite close together, and the weather's clearing, and the mist is lifting as well, which is all very romantic when you're on the top, but it's a real bugger to navigate your way through. It's just relying on the really on the Ordnance Survey mapping app, which is brilliant, I should say. Anyway, I am going to press on, just have a quick drink, press on to the top, and talk to you then. So here we are, third Munro of the trip so far. Top of Beinn, just over my shoulder, and I think you can see Mullach something or other is the next one, and then the one beyond that one, the one with all the scree of stones, is Scoban. I'm sure I will get those two done today, and then I'll drop down, and the fourth one is the demoted Munro. But pretty fantastic up here. All the inverted cloud, all the inverted cloud has pretty much burnt off now, which is actually quite a good thing. So if if I swing it round, coming over my shoulder there somewhere is the ridge that I've just walked along, and the bowling green, the tennis court, quite distinctive. And there we go. Yeah, if I just turn it around a bit, just over my shoulder there, to the right of the bowling green, is Highands, and then to the right of that is Rudstackmore that I did yesterday. And later I'm going to go in a minute actually up there, and then down and up there, if I've got that right, as if it was there on the screen. But those are the next two Munros. You see the path up to the second one, Scoban, and the first one actually looks like the path goes off to the right. I'm now at the top of the 4th Munro summit that I've been on today. That's cheating a bit because I started on one, but this is the 4th one I've been to, which is Corbett, and they're all quite different. This is a very flat top. I'll swing the camera around in a sec. Very flat top, covered in whatever this is, it granite? I don't know, limestone, whatever it is. Anyway, that's looking across to Anchalach, the very distinctive ridge. And that one just to the left is Beinn, I think it is, which is a Corbett. But it's fantastic up here, not a soul, and the weather is completely different to yesterday. None of that mist down in the valleys, which was so spectacular. But it was a bit hairy coming through that today. There's some sort of cairn, great big cairn up here. And then swinging it round, that's Mullapool, whatever it's called. That's the one I've just been on top. That's the tallest of the 5 that I've done in this trip. That's over 1,000 meters, quite steep coming down. And then I don't know, others will know exactly what all those hills are in the distance. The Torridon Hills, I guess. That's looking south, coming around. A couple, I think, yes, there we are. That's where I was last night. That one, that's Inversion, and that's Rudstack Moor. So those are the first 2 Munros that I did. You can't really see them because they're just poking up above the top of the scree pavement here. And back to Anchalach. So I'm just swing it round just to prove it really is me. Feel a bit bedraggled and a bit smelly, frankly, so my plan is just to walk down now. Shouldn't take very long, maybe an hour's walk down to there's a lochon below here where I'll find a place to pitch the tent. So I'll just do one more swing round. But this has been fantastic. Such a privilege last night to be on top of that summit with all the cloud inversion, and just all the peaks just poking out. It's like islands in the sea. That's quite a good shot, I think. I'm coming off Corbett now, just coming down. It's a painful process over this huge boulder field. I'd read about this and heard about it, but it really is just slow work. Anyway, the 2 little lochons well, 3 lochons that I had in mind for tonight. There are a couple that are down there, and there's a much bigger one down there. I'm just looking for potential camp pitches. I think the smaller ones may be a better bet, and also they are considerably higher because this peak here is the Corbett. Used to be a Munro, which was downgraded, so that's the 6th of the Fisherfield 6, and I, having got this far, I might as well do that one first thing in the morning and then walk out. It shouldn't take me long, particularly if I'm camping at these little lochons here. So that's my plan. The only thing is I need water, so I'm hoping that the water there is drinkable. They're big enough to show up on a map, and I've got purification tablets. Otherwise I'll just have to pitch the tent there and go down to the larger loch with without a backpack and anything. But anyway, there we are. More when I've pitched me tent. Hello again. So it's now Monday morning. No, it's not. It's Thursday morning, and it's about 9:25. So had a good camp spot last night, and set up about 8, and I'm at the top of the 6th of the Fisherfield 6, which is the one that used to be a Munro, which is now a Corbett, and I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but pretty stunning, just like all these places. fantastic. There's Anchelak in the background, quite distinctive. That's equally fantastic. And looking north, I think I can see Sylvan up into Assynt. If I just spring it round, that's where I'm going to go. So I'm going to just walk on a bit to that peak there, just along the ridge. That looks higher than here, but it's not. It's about 14 metres shorter. This is the summit according to the Ordnance Survey, but I'm going to go up there anyway, and then I'm going to just go down the slope, following the grassy line where those people are coming up. Things always look pretty scary, but then just take it down, and then there's somewhere down there you can see there's a little grove of, if that's the right word, of trees down there on the river. I just got to cross the river, pick up that Land Rover track there that you can see, and then walk out. It's about 6 miles from there to walk out to Chlaidheimh and where their car hopefully is. So that's my plan. So if I just swing it round where I was camping last night, there are 2 little lock-ons. I can't see them on the screen actually to point them out, but pretty much dead centre in the screen, I think. 2 little tiny lock-ons, and it was a fantastic place to camp, with a source of water actually up in the hills. And I had been warned about this. Water is not that easy to come by, and it was clean, and I got some purification tablets as well. And then swinging it round, so that is Skurban, this one that I came down, and the one behind it, oh, I'm losing track here. The one behind it, which is the Curry something, you can't really see. I think you can just about see the peak of it. And then Beinn Tarson, which is about there, I think, and you can see the tennis court to the right of it, and then swinging around more. Yeah, I'm losing the perspective. It all looks different from this angle. Highands and Rudstack Moor over there, and just swinging it round, and that is Ben Jerrig, Corbett, and back to where I am. Well, hello again. I'm on the long walk out on the Land Rover track from basically from Chlaidheimh, almost anyway, Chlaidheimh, out to the main road at Chlaidheimh, and it's gosh, it's a long drag. You can see high in the distance where the track's been. So that I'm looking to where I have come from, and that big peak there. That's where I was this morning. Whew. And if I swing it round, there is the unmistakable Anchelak skyline that John and I did 3 or 4 years ago. The track that comes down just in the middle, short to middle distance. So anyway, I'm heading in this direction. Whoa, oh, why I stopped here? Just somewhat cairn to mark the highest point of this track, I think. So now I'm going to drop down. God, it's a long slog, and I'm absolutely knackered. Anyway, it drops all the way down to the valley, and Chlaidheimh, where the car is. The car's a little bit further than that, but going downhill isn't always that easy, actually. But anyway, there we are. Well, it is absolutely fantabulous, and I'll talk to you at the car.